Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to answer a question from one of the students. So this is just a very specific, how do I sketch a graph without coordinates question. Okay, so in class, you were taught different ways of sketching graphs. The first one is the table method. And in the table method, you are given x coordinates and then you solve for y, and then what happens is you plot x, y, x, y, x, y, x, y. The other way that you can do it is what we call the dual intercept. So that's when you say x-intercept y equals 0 and y-intercept x equals 0. And then you solve for x, you solve for y, and then you got two sets of coordinates and you plot it that way. But this question specifically wants you to use the slope intercept method. Now, what this means is that you need to look for two things. The first one is the slope, and the second one is going to be the intercept. Now, let me rewrite the equation. The equation is y is equal to -1 over 2x plus 2. Now, according to the slope-intercept method, when I read an equation, my slope is always going to be the m in front of x, because the equation says y is equal to mx plus c, and m is my slope. C, on the other hand, is going to be my intercept. Which intercept? This is my y-intercept. So now I have two things. I have a slope and an intercept. So if I draw my Cartesian, let's assume that we've got a Cartesian plane that looks like that. Now remember, you need to use a ruler. So I'm going to mark them as 1, 2, 3, and I do it on the lines. 1, 2, 3, -1. Or let's do that on the other side. Okay. -1, -2, -3, -1, -2, -3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to use my y-intercept. My y-intercept is where I start. So I start at the y-intercept. So I go on my Cartesian to the point where y is equal to 2 and x is 0. So that is my y-intercept. Okay, so that point is the blue one. Now I want to work on my slope. Now notice the slope tells me how to move. Is how to move. It's an instruction, okay? And my instruction says -1 over +2. Now when I go to my graph, I know that my graph goes into 4 directions. On the x-axis, so on the x-axis, which is the one that goes side to side, this axis is positive here. See, my numbers are positive, positive, positive. And the other way, it's negative, negative, negative. So it's negative in that direction. Now, the same thing applies for my y-axis. Over here, I have my y-axis. And my y-axis is positive, positive, positive going up, and negative, negative, negative going down. So when I go to the slope, the sign positive and negative tells me direction. Now what you need to know is the slope is always going to be y on the top and it's going to be x at the bottom. So we know, first of all, that -1, minus means I am going down. So this means I'm going down and I'm going to go down 1 step. The next one is going to be +2. So positive is the x-axis, and positive means I'm going right or in this direction. So I'm going right 2 hops. So now I get to do the move. So I'm now going to go and I'm going to go to my starting point, which is 0, 2. And according to this, I must go 1 down. So that's 1 down and 2 to the right. 1, 2. So that's my second point. And then I repeat it. I go 1 down and 2 to the right. That's my third point. 1 down and 2 to the right. That's my fourth point. And this is how you draw a graph using the slope-intercept method. So at this point, you grab your ruler, and your ruler needs to go through the center of all the points over there, which is sometimes quite tricky for me because this ruler doesn't like to cooperate. Sometimes I draw it without a ruler because now it won't let me draw. Let's see. All right. And that is what your line is supposed to look like. So I hope that helped you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.